Have you ever sat by the window with your morning coffee, stared out at the world, and thought to yourself, when did I start needing so much help just to do the things I used to do without a second thought? Maybe it was carrying a grocery bag, climbing a few stairs, or even reaching for something on a high shelf. Little by little, those small moments start piling up until one day you find yourself asking for help more often than you'd like. And let me tell you something, you're not alone in feeling that way. Aging has this sneaky way of creeping up on us, doesn't it? One minute you're running around, keeping busy, feeling sharp and steady, and the next, you catch yourself hesitating to bend down and tie your shoe because your back might not agree with the idea. It's humbling. Sometimes it's downright frustrating. But here's the thing. Growing older doesn't mean giving up control. It doesn't mean handing over the keys to your independence. It means adjusting the way you live so you can hold on to your freedom with both hands. And that's what today's conversation is all about. Taking back the wheel. Regaining that wonderful, energizing, soul-lifting feeling of being in charge of your life. You don't have to settle for waiting on someone else to pick up the slack. You've got more power inside you than you think. Sometimes you just need to remember where to look for it. So today, I want to share with you 5 simple but deeply powerful habits that happy, strong, and independent seniors practice daily. These habits aren't magic pills or quick fixes. They're choices, small and steady, that slowly rebuild the strength in your body, the sharpness in your mind, and the confidence in your heart. Let's start with one of the most overlooked but life-changing habits, moving your body every single day. Now, I don't mean running marathons or lifting weights like a bodybuilder, unless you want to, of course. I'm talking about simple, consistent movement. A short morning walk, gentle stretching while the kettle boils, doing a few easy exercises right there in your living room. Your muscles are like old friends. They just need you to talk to them more often. When you stop using them, they stop showing up for you. But the opposite is true too. The more you move, the more your body starts to remember what it's capable of. And when you start moving again, something incredible happens. Not only do you feel stronger physically, but your balance improves, your mind gets sharper, and your mood lifts. You stop feeling like a burden and start feeling like the captain of your own ship again. Movement is the first step back to control. And the beauty is, you can start right where you are. No fancy equipment, no gym, no excuses. But regaining control isn't just about the body, it's about the mind too. The second habit is about something that most of us tend to overlook as the years roll by, staying curious and learning something new. When was the last time you tried something for the very first time? It could be a puzzle, a book on a topic you've never explored, learning to use your smartphone for more than just calls, or even trying your hand at painting, writing, or playing a simple tune on the piano. Keeping your mind active isn't just good for memory and mental sharpness. It's like watering the garden of your confidence. When you prove to yourself that you can still learn, still grow, and still tackle new challenges, even if they're small, you remind yourself that you're not stuck. You're still evolving. And that feeling, that spark, changes the way you see the world. It changes the way you see yourself. You see the happiest and most independent seniors I know, the ones who rarely feel like they've lost control of their lives, they all have this one thing in common. They don't sit around waiting for the world to hand them a solution. They stay involved, curious and active. Whether it's learning a new recipe, joining a local group, or mastering how to send a text message, they keep moving, both physically and mentally. And if you're sitting there nodding, maybe even feeling that little flutter of hope deep inside, then I want you to know you're already on the right path. And while we're walking this path together, let me ask you for a small favor. If you truly believe that God gives us the strength to care for the body He blessed us with, and you believe in the power of helping others, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. When you do, you're not just supporting this channel, you're spreading hope and health to countless others who might be feeling weak, lonely, or unsure where to start. Your simple click could be the reason someone else finds the strength to take control of their life today. Now, isn't that a beautiful way to make a difference? And don't just watch a piece of this video and leave, my friend. Your legs, your heart, your future, they all deserve your full attention. Every single habit I'm sharing today is like a stepping stone, and the real magic only happens when you stay for the whole journey. So, settle in, stay with me right to the end, and let's walk this path to a stronger, brighter, more independent life together. Now that we've explored how daily movement and curious learning can help you feel more in charge, let's take another step forward and talk about the next part of this journey. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you start to feel that little shift inside. The moment you realize you're not stuck, you're not helpless, and you're not defined by what you can't do anymore. That shift happens quietly, like the first light of morning sneaking through the blinds. But once it shows up, life starts to look different. The world doesn't seem quite so heavy. You start to feel, little by little, like yourself again. That spark I mentioned? It only grows when you add another powerful piece to the puzzle. And that's what I want to talk about next. One of the biggest ways to regain control of your life, especially as the years go by, is learning the art of saying yes to social connection. Now, I know this might sound simple, but for many people, especially when you're older, it's one of the hardest things to do. Life has a way of getting quieter. Friends move away, family gets busy, people you used to talk to every day aren't always around anymore. And when that quiet creeps in, it can feel so easy to retreat, to sit in the same chair, staring at the same four walls, convincing yourself that maybe it's better not to bother anyone. But here's the truth. Humans aren't meant to do life alone. You were designed for community, for connection, for conversation and laughter, and even the occasional shoulder to lean on. Happy and independent seniors don't pull away from the world. They do the opposite. They pick up the phone. They join a walking group. They say yes to lunch invites, church gatherings, book clubs, or even a chat with the neighbor over the fence. Being connected keeps your spirit alive, and believe it or not, your mind and body healthier too. Every conversation you have, every new person you meet, every old friend you reconnect with, it keeps your brain active, sharpens your memory, and lifts your mood. Loneliness, on the other hand, can weigh you down, making you feel older and more tired than you truly are. So if you've been pulling away, start small. One phone call, one invitation, one walk with a friend. That's all it takes to remind yourself that you still belong in this world and you still have a place in it. And once you've opened the door to movement, to learning, and to human connection, the next step is about reclaiming something even more personal: the power of daily routine. You'd be surprised how much control and confidence you can build simply by setting a rhythm to your day. Not the rushed, packed schedules we had when we were younger. No one's asking you to sprint from morning to night, but a gentle, steady rhythm that gives your mind and body something to lean on. Waking up at the same time, enjoying a proper breakfast, going for your morning stroll, making time for a hobby or a moment of quiet reflection, and getting to bed at a healthy hour. These simple, predictable daily rituals create a sense of safety and strength in your mind. They cut through the chaos of the world outside and tell your brain, "I've got this." It's almost like building a house out of tiny, dependable bricks. Each day, you lay another one down, and before long, you've created a space for peace, control, and happiness to grow. And it doesn't have to be a long list of to-dos either. It's about making small promises to yourself and keeping them. The more you honor those little promises, the more your self-trust grows, and the less you feel the need to depend on anyone else for your basic day-to-day happiness. Isn't that what we're all after, really? Not just surviving, but truly living. Waking up in the morning, knowing you're in the driver's seat. Feeling proud of yourself for showing up, for moving, for learning, for connecting, and for staying true to a life you've shaped on your own terms. And while you're sitting here with me, letting these words sink into your heart, I want you to remember, this isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about uncovering the strong, capable person you've always been. You've walked through decades of joy, loss, change, and lessons. That wisdom alone makes you one of the strongest souls walking this earth. Sometimes all you need is a little reminder and a little encouragement to stand tall and claim the life you deserve. And just like that, we've already covered so much ground. But there's still one more thing I want to share with you. One last habit that ties everything together and holds the key to real lasting change. Let's take a deep breath together, my friend, because this next step is the one that quietly shapes the entire journey back to independence. It's the habit that turns hope into action and worry into strength. It's the practice of taking care of your emotional well being, not just your body, not just your daily routine, but the inner world that often goes unnoticed when life gets busy or hard. It's so easy to ignore, isn't it? Especially when you've spent a lifetime caring for others, raising a family, building a career, keeping up with all of life's twists and turns. Somewhere along the way, you probably learned to put your own feelings on the back burner. But the happiest, strongest seniors I've ever met all share this quiet wisdom. They tend to their emotions just like they tend to their health. They don't shove their worries under the rug. They don't pretend sadness or fear aren't real. They sit with those feelings. They work through them. And most importantly, they don't let them take control. Because here's the truth. The moment you start treating your feelings like a friend instead of a problem, life begins to open up again. You become less afraid of the tough days and more open to the good ones. Whether it's through prayer, journaling, talking with someone you trust, or simply giving yourself permission to feel, this habit creates emotional strength. And with emotional strength comes confidence, peace, and a quiet power that no one can take from you. And the most beautiful part? When you take care of your heart, your body follows. Stress levels drop, sleep gets better, energy rises, and before long, you're not just surviving the day, you're enjoying it. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I've been through so much already. I don't even know where to begin. And to that, I want to say, begin right where you are. You don't have to climb a mountain. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. The simple act of sitting quietly each morning and asking yourself, how am I feeling today, is enough to start. Awareness is the first step to change, and self-kindness is the fuel that keeps you going. And as you begin to build that emotional muscle, something else starts to happen, almost like magic. You begin to find meaning in your days again. And that, my dear friend, leads to the final piece of the puzzle: purpose. Now, purpose isn't always some grand, sweeping mission like it was in our younger years. It doesn't have to be about building a business, raising a family, or running around solving the world's problems. As the seasons of life change, so does purpose. But it never disappears. Purpose might look like tending your garden, calling your grandchildren, volunteering at the local food bank, or simply making a stranger smile at the grocery store. Purpose is what gets you out of bed with excitement. It's what reminds you that you matter and that your story isn't finished. And let me tell you, I've met folks in their 80s and 90s who glow with the energy and zest of someone half their age. And do you know what they all had in common? A sense of purpose. They wake up each day knowing there's something small or big or simple or sacred waiting for them to do. Whether it's caring for a pet, sharing their wisdom with a neighbor, or simply sitting on the porch and appreciating the world around them, their hearts are busy and their lives feel full. So if you've been feeling like you've lost control, like you've had to rely on others more than you'd like, or like the spark has dimmed, know this: purpose will light that flame again. Even the smallest act of purpose can shift your whole world. You are not here by accident. You are here because you still have something to give, to experience, and to enjoy. Life isn't measured by how many times we fall, but by how many times we stand back up, dust ourselves off, and say, I'm ready for more. And I believe you are ready. I believe in the strength that brought you this far. And I believe you've got more joy, more adventures, and more love waiting ahead of you, no matter what age you see when you look in the mirror. So my friend, if this message touched your heart today, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me one small change you're ready to make, one step that will help you feel more in control, more independent, and more alive. And if you haven't already, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. When you do, you're not just helping this little community grow, you're helping someone else, somewhere, find hope when they need it most. And that, my friend, is a beautiful way to make a difference. Here's to living with strength, purpose, and joy, No matter the number on your birthday cake, here's to living your best life at any age.